Let's have a quick chat about excuses. This is a video I've been wanting to make for a long time. I've actually done several takes, and they all end up too long and I ramble too much, so I'm going to keep this really quick. I was a horrible excuse maker. I tried making excuses for everything for years. I would sometimes unknowingly weasel my way out of responsibilities, out of doing things I didn't want to do. If I thought something was stupid, or if I knew that there was a better way to get it done, but I was being forced to do it a certain way, I would just make excuses to either not do it or just do whatever needed to be done just to get by without doing a quality job. And I didn't really realize that I was doing this behavior all the time until somebody very close to me pointed it out and began listing examples and situations when I had done it. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized that making excuses and taking the easy way out made me a worse person, a much worse person. It made my life a little bit easier, but it made me miserable. It made me a bad friend, a bad son, a bad brother at times, a bad boyfriend, a bad student, a bad employee, you name it. When I made excuses and tried to take the easy way out and tried to shrug off responsibilities, I ruined things. And it wasn't until the latter part of my college career that I began actually trying to put effort into things, because all of those excuses and all of those missed opportunities began stacking up on top of each other until the weight became so heavy, and I began to realize that I was in trouble. Things were not going the way I wanted them to. I had made bad choices, and there were all kinds of loose ends that I had to tie up. And the only way to do it was to be honest and open and put hard work and rush these things last minute. And so excuses are never good. They're never good. I think there's a big problem in this country with people making excuses for their situations. And sure, the economy, sure, the president, sure, it's the government, it's somebody else, it's just not you. Sure, maybe to some degree, but are you going to let that external factor control you? And are you going to allow these excuses to wedge themselves into your life, into your mindset, and to just lay there and take it? Is that what you're going to do? You're going to let the rest of the world walk on you just because you think that's what's happening? That's weak. Very, very weak. And ever since I stopped making excuses and I try to put my full effort into everything that I'm doing, and I take responsibility and take accountability for all of the things that I'm doing, it's a very different story. And if you ever plan on doing anything on your own, you're going to have to learn how to take responsibility. So, yeah, this video kind of turned into tough love pretty quickly, but it's just true. And I'm just sharing my experiences because, believe me, if there was someone out there who was making a lot of excuses and just avoiding things that he didn't want to do, it was me. And after changing, I realized how toxic that behavior is. So, stop making excuses. Take responsibility for the things that you truly care about. If you're making a lot of excuses, it's probably a sign that you have taken on too much, okay? You might have your hands too full, and you're just making excuses to make up for the fact that you can't do all of this stuff to the level that's expected. And if that's the case, you got to drop some baggage. You got to figure out what you don't care about, figure out what you don't need, and you got to get rid of that shit. Focus on the things that you truly care about and take full responsibility for them. Your life and every facet of your life will improve dramatically. Trust me.